There we go.
Hey guys, happy Monday. 40 Grit here, 40 Grit Guitars. Thought I'd jump on tonight. I was off today, so thought I would jump in and see what you guys are up to, see if there's anything new, any new guitars, any new issues, any new problems. Hey, all the people in the Midwest, man, thinking about you, watching the weather stuff. Just be safe. There's a lot of weather going on Midwest. If you're in it, I know my old man's in it, and around the Missouri area. I think he gets it tomorrow. So just make sure you guys are being safe, and there's people thinking about you. So be safe out there, and that's that. Had a special a visitor today. Had one of my viewers hit me up, and I guess he was coming in from New Hampshire. Jeff, you guys may know him as the Metal Cop. So Metal Cop came into town today, and I'll show you some funny stuff here. That's not funny, but it's cool. Let's see here. Jeff and I sat around and talked about guitars for 3 hours, and yeah, great conversation. If you don't know, I put Jeff's website in the description for tonight, Metal Cop 5150. If you have a problem finding it, just at Metal Cop 5150, and his stuff will come up. But great conversation today, Jeff. Pleasure meeting you. And he came over, and we looked through guitars and pulled some Les Pauls out and talked about guitar stuff, and it was good conversation. So a great way to spend a day off, and I appreciate your company, and thanks for coming by. Make sure you check out his website or his YouTube channel, like I said. And I'll tell you something else. I was a while back, he had told me about a video that he had done, and if you guys get a chance, check out his yeah, hold on a second. Here's pause that. Check out his video on. Let me share this. This is a really good video. We were talking about the pickups today, talking about the Steve Lukather, the Eddie Van Halen, DiMarzio pickup. So he has a video called "The Definitive Comparison: Ernie Ball, Music Man, to the PV Wolfgang." I highly recommend you watch it. I watched it a while back, and him and I started talking about the pickups today, and I remembered the conversation that we had. So make sure that you check out that if you're interested in the Ernie Ball. He did a lot of research on that, and it's a really good video. So anyways, check out Metal Cop. It was cool to hang out with him today and meet him. So surely check out his stuff. So see what else. This is the well, thanks for being here. 6 o'clock Phoenix time, and let's jump in real quick and see what's going on in the chat. Phoenix time, 6 o'clock. I appreciate you guys being here. Darren was first in this afternoon. Darren, what's up, buddy? That's my rap buddy. Donald Young, how's it going? 40. It's going, buddy. We're just trucking through the day here. What did I do today? I don't even remember what I did today. There's a grocery store, and it was interesting. I was watching, we were talking, me and Metal Cop were talking about other channels, and I watched Phil McKnight the other day, and he was talking about making sure that you get your guitars out of the cases, especially like a lacquer finish, which, I agree with, but I surely lose sight of getting those out of the case every once in a while. So today, while he was here, I pulled my Les Pauls out and let him breathe for a little while. Not a bad idea. I don't know. I kind of keep mine in the upright position. They're not laying. So my guitars are in the upright position. I think that if you have a lot of weight on them and stuff, if they're laying in a flat position, you may have a problem with the weight on a lacquer finish, maybe picking up the case felt inside there, maybe if it sat for a long time. But anyways, if you didn't see Phil McKnight's show the other night, it wasn't bad. I jump in and I I should probably look into categorizing our conversations on here, because I find that useful, especially when I go to watch him. I'll flip through and see what he's got doing, and then I'll pick up something. So Shirley picked up some cool stuff from him. So yeah, Phil McKnight's got a cool channel. Check him out. John Gregory, hey 40, what up? Not much, man. Not much. Ronnie Parker, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Jimmy Biter sold me some pickups. Thank you, sir. Got the pickups. The Phase 90, I think, came today. And I am not at work, but I get that stuff delivered to work because I'm there 99.9% of the time. So I will have that tomorrow, and I appreciate the reach out on that and reaching out to me on that, and I appreciate it. So very much appreciated. Wonder what the teacher's going to look like this year. We'll get into some Van Halen talk. I really don't want to do it, but I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on it. Looks like Jimmy, I popped in yesterday to OU 812. I was at work. I popped in for a minute, and then they were playing, and apparently Jimmy played some Rat yesterday, so I'm going to go back and watch the replay today. I've been watching a lot of Nuno stuff for me personally. Ever since I had John on, I'm kind of on a Nuno kick. And I found myself driving to work right now, throwing on all the old Extreme stuff. I listened to the first Extreme album yesterday morning before everybody got, Sunday morning before everybody got in. God almighty, what a great! If you don't have the first Extreme album, you gotta check it out. It's badass. Jimmy thanking Darren, I think. Brian Buckles, what's up, Brian Buckles? Brian Buckles reached out to me. See what Brian Buckles got going on here. Brian Buckles sent me a picture of 2 EVH Frankensteins the other day, and he said 2 is always better than 1. And I said, I agree. 2 is always better than 1. And then I don't know if he was planning on doing this, but then I did the I took my Van Halen 1 up there hanging above my head and took the pick guard down to a Frankenstein pick guard. And then I got an email from him. I think he's probably planning on doing this anyways, but he reached out to me and said, hey, could you help me do this? And I said, buddy, I think you can do that yourself. And guess what he did? He did it himself. So I think his guitar looks great. Make sure you chat up Brian Buckles. Congratulations, dude. It looks great. And I think they look cool without the route up here and the Frankenstein pickguard on it. I was a little worried about your pot height, but it looks like it worked out. Because you're adding there. You're not you're adding, you're not taking away. You're not just putting the pot through the pickguard, you're putting it through the body and through the pickguard. So I think that looks to me like everything worked out. And congratulations, dude. It looks great. Your Frankenstein looks great. And it looks good. I think the like I said, I think those look good. Especially the Van Halen, the Frankenstein looks great. I just like I said, I saw that guy playing the Van Halen 1, and he had that Frankenstein pickguard on. I was like, man, that looks really good. So Brian Buckles, good job, man. And congratulations on your garage time. Lucky you on your garage time. We're getting out of garage time here in Arizona. Brian Buckles in Arizona with me. Getting out of garage time here pretty soon. Ryan, what's up, man? Talked to Ryan today about a couple things. So I'm going to reach out to my boy on that one, Ryan, and have him research that for me, because I was looking through StreamYard today and it said 4K, but when I go on here, I can't do this in 4K. So maybe it's not available in my area, but I'm paying for stuff that I don't think I need to pay for. So anyways, I'm going to check into that stuff. So appreciate you talking to me about that, man. You guys have been doing that a lot longer than I have. So Greasy Monkey Guitars. Howdy dudes. What's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Cushman's here. Cushman, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Meadow Cop is in the house, and he was literally in the house today. And I started the show. I'm not sure if you just got in, Jeff, but I started the show we're just talking about all that cool stuff we said around. Talk about nonsense today. Bunch of nonsense. Guitar talk, fun stuff. John Gregory here, 40 Grit. Hope all is good. I'm a bass player from Munster, Indiana. I think you've been in before. Yeah, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And if you have anything to add or anything you want to talk about, man, just jump in and let's see if we can come up with a conversation tonight. I sent Randy Price a Floyd Rose 1000 and he got it today. And he said he was looking forward tonight. I said, man, I really don't have much to talk about, so I need your guys' help tonight. I don't have a whole bunch going on. So Fisty Cuffer, hey Mike, and everyone. Hope all is well. All good here. Hope you guys are good. Hope everybody's good out there. Patty Dill. Hey Patty, what's up, man? How you doing? Nice to see you in my chat. Patty's a longtime friend of mine, back from the Johnny Bean show when I was on there, and she's throughout the entire networking of our channels. Patty's always there and always faithful. So hey, appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you in the chat. Metal Cap says, yeah, great meeting you too, bro. Yeah, great conversation today. It was cool hanging out with you. So always enjoy talking about guitar stuff, man. Love guitar stuff. Funny, I was sitting at work the other day and the owner calls me in and says, hey Mike, he'll call me in every once in a while, be like, hey Mike, how you doing? I say, I'm good, sir. Well, would you please tell your face? And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then I play videos for guitar stuff and people are like, that's what always gets Mike smiling, talking about guitar stuff. And because it's what I enjoy. It really is my passion, and I enjoy talking about it. So yeah, Patty's in the chat, Ryan. It's fun. It's cool. Patty's in the chat. Patty's saying hello to everybody. Cushman's here. Brian Peterson. What's up, man? How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Blue Mox. What's up, Blue Mox? What up? How you doing? JP21. Jarrell, how you doing, buddy? Hope everything's good over at the house. Tell the kiddos I said hi. Patty Dill, Blue Mox. Let's get through this here by saying hello to each other. What up, everyone? Bradley Wood, how you doing, man? Matt Stewart, how you doing? Thanks for being here. 35-minute mark with the headphones. Okay, so I will look at that. I will look at that when I get off tonight. I will take a look at yesterday's OU812 channel. So Randy, what up, buddy? There's my buddy Randy. How you doing, man? Good. Glad you're here. Andy Carson's in the house. Andy, how you doing, man? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see, and I'm caught up in the chat. Okay, so a couple things. Wanted to talk about this first. Looking forward to this weekend. Why, you ask? Because it's the M3 festival. So M3 is this weekend, which we know what Sunday is, and we know what Saturday is. So I think that so it looks like Friday night's going to be Sebastian Bach and Snake Oil, which Sebastian Bach probably put on a pretty good show playing that Skid Row stuff. He still got it. He can still sing it. It's just a shame that those guys can't get along, because it'd be cool to see a reunion between those guys. It's the NAMM show the year that I shot the Ed video, and Scotty Hill and Dave Sabo were at the PV booth, and me and my buddy hung out with them and talked to them for a little while, and they were really cool. So yeah, I've met those guys, and they're cool, and too bad they can't get along. Saturday is David Lee Roth, Accept, Winger, Slaughter, Steven Adler, and Red Voodoo, whoever that is. Probably a Sammy Hagar tribute band. I don't know. But Roth will be cool to see what he's got doing, see what he can pull off. I got to find a way to watch that. I don't know what my schedule is going to be for this weekend, because it's a new month, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff on YouTube to watch come Monday morning. David Lee Roth will be cool to see what he's got doing. And Winger will be cool. Winger is always a good show for me personally. I like the Winger stuff. I think it's cool. Slaughter's a cool band. Always like them. I saw them with White Snake and Kip Winger acoustic set years ago, and Slaughter was pretty good live. So that should be a good show. Haven't seen Steven Adler, and then the big night will be Sunday for me personally, with Piercy and DeMartini, Ace Frehley. I wonder if Steve Brown is going to be with him. I wonder if he's jamming with him. Warrant, not bad. Lita Ford. Lita Ford just got a new BC Rich, I think, from what I know. So maybe she'll be playing a new BC Rich that she just got. Great White. Who's singing lead for them now? I don't know. Vixen. No, Vixen ain't bad, man. I mean, they're cool to watch. The only original member is Roxy, whatever her name was, Roxy Petrucci, or but the bass player is what's his face's girlfriend or wife, and then the guy from Sirius is dating Brett Lightning. So, what's his name? God, I draw a blank on these people's names now. It's so crazy. But anyways, should be a cool show. Should be a cool cool night of music. So that should be good. We'll have a main conversation here. I was going to ask you guys what your thoughts were on this. I'll just leave it at that. Let's let the chat roll. Let's see what the chat rolls with this. Sammy Hagar, Encore, thank you, good night. Supposedly a song that Ed came to him in a dream, and they wrote the song together. And I've listened to it a couple times and trying to figure it out. And I don't know if I'm gonna comment either way. But I just like to know what your guys' thoughts are, and then we can sit here and talk about guitar stuff. I did want to run this by you guys and see what your thoughts were on it. Just because. So let me jump back into the chat here real quick and see. Bradley Wood has a discussion topic. I appreciate that. I just ordered a couple of Rustcast Alnico 5 magnets to swap out some of the late model JBs. Yeah, Randy Price has talked about that, and the early ones were the Roughcast, and I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on that once you get done and you swap those out. I would like to see what your thoughts are. You can email me directly at 40 Grit Guitars. Getting a lot of emails lately from people about projects and cool stuff like that. So I really enjoy your emails and your conversations. So you can email me directly. But yes, going back to that, I think that's a good. That's a cool topic in my opinion. And I would like to know what your ears are telling you once you get those swapping those out. Not a big deal. I mean, it's not difficult. So, just curious to see what your thoughts are once that gets done. 40 Grit, how are you? I am good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Let me know how you're doing. And again, hopefully everybody in the Midwest is safe. Make sure you're staying safe out there. And Cushman saying hello. John Gregory. Hey, Mike, what do you think of the new Kahlers that are out there now? Have they improved? I haven't, I'm kind of dabbling in the whole Nuno Betancourt Washburn thing, with the Buzz Feet and tuning system. I was talking to Metal Cop about it today. And setting intonation on that guitar and going through all of it. And I saw that when I was talking to John the other day, when John was on, we were talking about, what he uses on 4N. And he said, well, it's Kahler. Well, it's a Floyd Rose bridge, but it's got a Kahler nut on it. So I was looking more into that and kind of researching it. I don't know on his particular, but from all the guitars I've seen, they're all Floyd Roses with a Kaler nut. So if he's got a Kaler bridge on there, I haven't really looked into that. Do I have any Kalers? No. I ran one by Randy Price not too long ago, and he said that's a really cool guitar, but it's got a Kaler. And there was kind of a moment where I wanted to have a Kaler just to say I have a Kaler because I don't have any Kalers right now, and I haven't played any, so I don't know if I would be a good person to run that by. I remember I had a Kaler on a Samick that I purchased when I was in Bahrain in the Middle East during Gulf War, and I enjoyed the Kaler. I thought the Kaler was kind of cool. So maybe one day I'll go back to them. I don't know if I can find one for a good price. There was Big Hair Guitars or Big Hair Nation or something. He did a show on the Nashville Guitar Show, and there was a single humbucker. It's still on Reverb. I should see if I can find it. The guitar is still on Reverb, and I considered purchasing it, but I just think that it was like $2,700 or something, and it just felt like, okay, $2,700. What can I do with $2,700 right now if I'm going to chase a guitar? And I just kind of felt like a guitar that's been around for a while may have been, monkeyed with and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm not sure if that's a wise decision with regards to, spending money right now on guitar stuff. So if you're going to do it, so I just don't know if that's the one. What are you familiar with guitar shredder Sean Lane, who was in Black Oak, Arkansas at 15? No, sir. I can look him up. I'd be more than happy to look him up and see what's the skinny on that. Is there something I need to know? Because if there is, please let me know. I'm always open and checking out new stuff and checking out new stuff. I just like that DeRaps guy. I mean, I've known about him, and I bought the first album a long time ago, and I went back and listened to it. It's awesome. And now they got a couple new tunes out, and the kid's talented, and it's cool to listen to something different, especially when it's got like a little bit of a Van Halen kick on it. So I like that. So yeah, always open to listen to new stuff. But at the end of the day, being at the age I'm at, I'm always going to go back to the nonsense that I've listened to since I was 15 years old. I'm always going to go back to it. Saw Sebastian Bach for his Angel Down tour. Dude killed it. I think he was the opener for Dokken and Poison. Hold on a second. Did he just say that? Sean Lane? No, Black Oak. Okay. I don't know if that's related. I don't know who these musicians are with Sebastian Bach. So he did have a guy that played Les Pauls, and I don't know who that guy was, but he was impressive. That guy can play. Whoever that guy is, he's good. He's brilliant. He's good. He's good. Except, hell yeah. Yeah. Cool to see Except. Why not, man? It's cool. Hey, Dane's in the chat. Dane, what's up, man? We're just talking about you today. Why was I talking about you? I was talking about you about something. I don't know. Anyways, it's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Brett Lightning and Tommy London. Tommy London from Sirius Hair Nation is dating Brett Lightning. That's correct. So from what he talks about it all the time. So Vixen Edge of a Broken Heart intro is badass. See, I think so too, man. I mean, like you can sit there and roll your eyes and say, "Oh, Vixen," and it could be one of those guilty pleasure bands, but that could be one of those guilty pleasure bands. But I'll tell you, it's one of my guilty pleasure bands. I always thought Vixen was cool. I always thought that the bass player, Cher Peterson, was in a band called Bubble, and they opened up for Rat when I saw them for the Infestation tour. They opened up for them at the Key Club, and they were good. So I always thought that Cher Peterson was cool. I think the guitar player passed away from cancer, and then the lead singer, I think she's kind of doing her own thing with her husband, from what I understand. And then Roxy's obviously still running around. And Cher Peterson gave the blessing of her taking. She's on hiatus, I think. I think she's just living her life. And So she gave her blessing with her moving on and getting the new bass player in there. But she's good. She's good. No slouches in that band. I mean, they can all play. Bradley Wood said he stole the idea from Randy. Well, and there you go. There you go. Should be a lot smoother in the top end, Bradley Wood. Yeah, I would like to. I would like to know what you're thinking about that. 40 grand. I want to build a guitar, and I'd like you to help me with this project. I can help you. You can have direct contact with me. I have no problem sharing my phone number and stuff like that, and I could help you. I like helping more than doing, just because I want people to learn, because it's always easy when somebody goes and does it for you. But what do you learn from that? You don't learn anything from it. Ask Brian Buckles. Brian Buckles could have brought his guitar over. I'd be more than happy to work on Brian Buckles' guitars. I just like helping people and saying, "Hey, do this, do that," and then they figure it out. And they're like, "Yeah, I did it. Yeah." Because there's always that intimidation factor when you go to start wrenching on something and you haven't done it before. You're afraid of goofing it up. Trust me, I've had my fair share of mistakes. Fair share of mistakes. I truly believe that I am was the first guy to part out a guitar on eBay. I truly believe that, because I bought a Black Wolfgang and I goofed it up, and I said, okay, I can't sell it. I don't want to look at it. This was when they first came out, the black and the white ones, and the PVs. And I'm not even going to tell you what I did because it was stupid. And I goofed it up, and I said I can't live with it, so I got to get rid of it. And so I disassembled it and I sold it all in pieces, and it just it went for so much money. Like, I could have bought 2 Wolfgangs for, and then now everybody does it, but I don't know. I don't want to make that claim to fame, but I can tell you I was surely the first person on eBay to part out a PV Wolfgang. Surely. Because of the money I got for it. It was crazy. It was crazy money. Crazy money. Roughcast Alnico 5 gets rid of that nasally piercing high that the modern JPs have. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I would like to check that out. See what's doing with that. Bradley Wood says that is my hope. And yeah. Metal Cop says not a fan of the new Kahlers. I prefer the old school ones from the 80s, but I prefer everything old school 80s. I'm with you on that. I truly believe that I like the 80s stuff. We're talking about Floyd Roses today. Jeff and I were talking about Floyd Roses today and how the new ones came out. And, my buddy, he works for a pretty well-known guitar company. And he told me that, the new Floyds are good. They're good. They're going to be better. So I bought a bass plate, which is a new bass plate. I bought the new saddles. I assembled one. And I'm not disappointed with it. I haven't installed it yet. I haven't done anything with it. But I'm not disappointed with it. Seems like it's going to be okay. I do have very good intel that the reason why Floyd got away from Schaller was because of the finishes. So the finishes were just that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. From what I understand, the finishes were just not cutting it. Randy Price said not a Kahler fan. Yeah, it seems like we're going to get our answer from the chat. Is going to grace us with. The Kahler locking nut is great. I had it. Has its own string retainer built in. Okay, cool. All right. I didn't know that. Maybe that's okay. I understand. That's interesting. I did not know that. Jimmy Biter chiming in. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I still much prefer the feel of a floating Floyd. I'm not disagreeing with you. I do not like a floating Floyd Rose. Hold on a second. Maybe I read that wrong. I still prefer the feel of a floating. So I thought you were talking about the Kahler. I like the spongy feel of the Kahler from what I remember. It was just cool. Very little knock, and it did what you wanted it to do. With Floyd, you got to put a little bit of effort into it, with regards to what whatever it is you're looking to accomplish. Metal Cop and I talked about that today. The way we prefer that we set up our stuff. So Randy Price says, "Shut up, Quentin." So I don't know what's going on there. In all seriousness, I agree with you, Quentin. Hope you're feeling better. I did. Quentin sick. Yeah, hope you're feeling better there, Quentin. Randy Price getting better. Thanks. And shut up, Randy. Okay. Everybody's talking amongst themselves here. Second discussion topic. Bradley Wood, thank you for chiming in tonight, and I appreciate you carrying me because I didn't have much to talk about. Recent setup. I'm shocked that nobody's commented on the Sammy Hagar thing yet. So I'm halfway down. Sammy Hagar, our second discussion topic. Recent setup. One of my Gibson Les Pauls with 2mm action on the bass side. I'm usually 1.3 to 1.5 millimeters. I can honestly say it sounds better with higher action. I feel zero buzz is why. Yeah, could be. Radius. There's a lot of things that come into setting your action on a guitar. And to be honest with you, I mean, like when we were kids, I was talking to somebody the other day about this. And when we were kids, we used to take it all the way down until it buzzed. And then we take a half a turn back up. And then that's the way you set your guitar up. Maybe it's good to go back to, old school and, sometimes and just do it. Because if you don't have, I mean, I can set up a guitar now and just by feel. Metal Cop was playing by guitars. And he said, "Oh, your guitars are just set up just fantastic." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's the one thing I know that I can. I can do quite a bit of stuff good, but but setups, yeah, I'd be totally okay with working at a store and just doing setups all day long because it's really, if you think about it, it's the most rewarding job on the line, making the guitars play. Because when I got them on the line, I mean, my assembler had already put the guitar together, my wiring guy had already wired it. The only thing I had to go through, check everything, and then set the guitar up, make sure it was playing right to serve spec. So a setup is the most rewarding part of building a guitar, but that's a really good. I mean, I'm happy for you. Recently set up a Les Paul 2mm action bass side. I'm usually at 1.3, 1.5. I would say it sounded better. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just feels better to you. Maybe it does sound better. I don't know. But the cool thing is a difference, and and you feel free enough to make a difference, because there's some people that are so caught up with it's got to be the spec that you won't go outside the box and say, okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to raise the action a little bit. Key point, my Kramers. I go 4/64 on all my Kramers. I'm 3/64 on I'm 3/64 on my 16-inch radius guitars, but anything like the Nuno 4, that's 14. The 12-inch radiuses. I bought a guitar this week, and I don't need to be buying guitars anymore. It's got a 12-inch radius. We'll talk about it, but I'm sure on the 12-inch radius, I'm going to be setting that guitar at 4/64. Why? Because of choking, and they just feel more comfortable. So I'm going to have to check that fretboard when I get it to see if it's a compound. I don't think it is, but Randy Price and I talk about guitar stuff all the time, and I stumbled on one and I ran it by him, and he goes, "Yeah, man, that's a cool guitar." So might as well talk about it now. So let's see here. Where we at? There she is. So let me share screen. Hey, Bradley, good job on that, dude. Don't be afraid to step outside the box, and I'm sure you probably set up your own stuff. I'm probably telling you stuff you don't even that doesn't even matter. But I thank you for the comment, and I also want to tell you that good job stepping outside the box and not setting everything up the same. Because at the end of the day, it's all about feel, and if it doesn't feel right, then raise it or lower it, or you mess with it and check your tension, your truss rod, and all that good stuff. And I put another chub tone. reason I bought this Chub Tone is because it's number 30 and it's old. I just looked mine up. I think I was at number 230 something on mine today. We're looking at the Chub Tone that I have, and I saw this one. I was like, oh god, that's cool looking. Single pickup, single humbucker, which is my favorite. It's always going to be my favorite. Bradley, thanks, man. It's always going to be my favorite, and I hit this guy up and hit it with a price, and he said that he would do it. So I did not pay $2,400 for the guitar, but I'm excited to get it. I'm excited to set it up, and this will probably be, if I get to set this guitar up, it will probably be my last of the year. I didn't build a. I was telling my gal the other day I didn't build a guitar this winter. Kind of crapped me out, but I just had other stuff going on. I usually build a guitar every winter to celebrate the coming of the ending of the heat and get back out in the garage and get it refamiliarized and, throw a build on there and paint it and do it all. That's where all my builds came from, summer coming or summer ending and winter coming. But I picked this up as a 12-inch radius and, or so it's said. So let's see what it says here. Yeah, 12-inch radius, jumbo frets. Made by Chub Tone. I did contact Chub Tone. He said, "Yeah, Oreo Cookie, man, that's a great guitar." And I asked him when what the build date was, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. The guy listed this guitar several times. It's set up with 10s and E flat. I don't think I'll leave 10s on. I'll probably go 9 to 42. I think I'm going to try some Diodarios. There's Diodarios on that Nuno. And I think I'm going to try some Diodarios because they just feel a little stiffer than the Ernie Balls. And I felt like my playing was a little better. I didn't have to rely on, my fingers were going places and I wasn't goofing stuff up because the string was moving. I guess it's I just felt like a stiffer, like the string was stiffer. Maybe it's just the guitar. I don't know. But either way, I like those Diodarios that are on the Nuno Betancourt. So anyways, I got this one coming. Number 30. Yeah, so cool, man. I mean, I love their back plates. I think they're cool. Nice figure on the neck. Unreliable. I mean, I started thinking about that after I bought it. I was like, oh god, it's a one-piece bird's eye. There's nothing good about that. But hopefully, it's been around long enough to where it's just stable and everything's good. 3 springs. I'll be fixing that. That'll change. And then that's that. Is this a video this guy shot? What? All right. He's got going on here. I'm not gonna play it. But that's what's that's what's doing there. So hopefully that's poly. I should look at that sticker. Oh well. Figure it out. So that's that. Let's see. Let me get out of that stuff. And let me check back into the chat. Got a little off topic there. Let's go back into the chat. See here. Where did I leave it? Right there. Randy says, Bad had metal mic on lead guitar that tour. Yeah, I don't know who that guy was that plays the Les Paul, the black Les Paul, but yeah, that guy's good, man. Roddy Parker says, yes, 40. He might be faster than Malmsteen. Lane has passed away, but he was from Memphis, Tennessee. And this is what I hate about getting behind in the chat. Who passed away? Lane has passed away, but he was from Memphis, Tennessee. Are we talking about the guy from Skid Row? That would suck. That guy was good, man. I liked watching that cat. He's good. Andy Carson, Blue Mox. Yeah, hello. Oh yeah, Richie Kotzen. That's the name I was. Yeah, Richie Kotzen's. Oh, is that his wife? Okay, I thought that was a girlfriend. All right. Yeah, Richie Kotzen's wife is the bass player in Vixen. So, Yostinator, what's up, man? Lordy, it's good old 40. Hey, that's not a bad one. It's a good one. Cool, man. That's a good one. Thanks for being here, man. Blue Mox, so I just watched the encore video. I know what Satch would look like if he was a drummer and on roids. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yosinator in the house. Price, everybody saying hello to each other. Let's see here. Just saw Vic. I saw Vixen before Jan, whatever her name was, passed. They killed, and Jan played an Ernie Ball. Yeah, she did. That was reuniting the band or getting the band at MTV show. She was playing a red one on that. I thought that was so cool when I watched that reuniting the band. It was an MTV show, and they did Extreme, and they did Vixen, and the Vixen one's good. And it's on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's cool because they take the album and they go, it's really cool. They did the same thing on Extreme too, but they take their album and they go and they meet up with them and they interview the person. They say, why did you leave? Why did the band end? Blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, hey, we're going to get you guys together if you're in, and then we're going to have you go do a show. So if you're in, just give me a signature here. And they would sign the album cover. And then they would go to the next person and they would say, hey, yeah, we're going to get the band back together. Do you want to do it? And they'd be like, yeah. And so they sign. And at the end of the show, they would do, I think it was at was that, what's next to the, it's not the whiskey. It's not the Key Club. It was, the one next to the Rainbow, but I think that's where where they did those shows. So, yeah. Ariel says I want to put together the '87 Telly girls. I have almost everything, so it's already drilled for the Floyd and the paint job and everything. That's cool guitar, man. Mick Mars got some cool stuff. I watched that. What's that? I watched that. I forgot what her name is. That girl that doesn't know how to play guitar, and she goes around and hangs out with all the greats, and they let her in their house, and she gets to look at all the stuff, and she got to put Nuno's nail polish on, but I watched her interview Mick Mars, and I was thinking about all the questions I would ask Mick Mars if I was sitting there with him. And yeah, so I think I watched that today. I think I did. Can you explain the string tree bounce at the first fret that you always check for? The string bounce at the first fret. So I always fret. That's how you check nut on the first fret, the nut height. So if you want to check your nut height, some people pull out like gauges and stuff. I mean, like I can eyeball it, but what you want to do is you want to check travel all the way across the nut, because sometimes it'll be this. Good question, Darren. You want to check the nut all the way across, not just on your low E. So what I do is I always fret the third, and then I check the bounce on first. E, A, D, G, B, E, and check the bounce. So sometimes, depending on the radius of your nut, it's going to be taller in the middle and lower on the sides. Really, the only two that matter are the two E's, because everything else in the middle is going to figure itself out, depending on what radius nut you're using. Right now, from what I understand, all the Floyds are 10s. Doesn't really matter to me, because like I said, I like having a little more height in the middle for doing the Van Halen screams, the harmonics. But sometimes like I put that R10 on a BC Rich, a 15-inch radius, and I couldn't even get under the string, and I was miserable. So what I did is I just put I think I put a R3 back on it, which is 12, and then I put the R3 back on, and it felt good. So so fret third, and then you're gonna have your bounce there between the nut and your first fret, and then that's how you check your nut height. That's how I check nut height. Remember, again, when you're setting up your guitars, you always start from the headstock and work your way down, because the last thing you should do is intonation, because everything should be set up beyond that. Everything's good to go. And you should be ready to go. This guitar, I got this. I still can't believe I got this guitar for $800 because these are 15 something. And I talked about this, but it just goes to show that sometimes it's good to watch Guitar Center because they do have text there. The string alignment on this guitar is perfect. They have text there, and the guitar they put a Andy Timmons pickup in a bridge pickup, and it's got the Wolfgang neck pickup, and you could tell the difference. So I just took some paint and painted the dog ears in there to where you can't really, it just kind of blends in now, but it was sticking out because it was the dog ears were silver looking and they stuck out like a sore thumb, but now you can't really see them. You can still see the gold in there, but you can't see the black in there for the bridge. So you paint those dog ears and it just cleans everything up. We painted them all at Sir, and it just cleaned everything. It just cleans out the up the whole cavity. It's sticking out like a sore thumb. And I think somebody bought this guitar and either they goofed it up or it came goofed up. But I think I told you guys the lead wire that came from the three-way that goes down to the pot, for your output. I gutted all the wiring on this guitar and redid it, and the lead wire was cut in half. So you're only getting half output to the pot. And I got it for $800. I think they thought they were getting over on me because it didn't work, and then I was going to have to take it into somebody and have them fix it. But if they just would have gave it to one of their glorious techs and had them tear it apart real quick, maybe they could have figured out that it really wasn't that big of a repair. It was just a wire. But I appreciate it. I appreciate everything they did for me because this is a really great butter playing guitar, and I took the tone out and I put a kill switch in there, which I was hoping I had a black stripe there when I was putting it in, but not quite. But that would have been cool to have the black match up to where you don't even see the kill switch because it looks better with the with just a single. And man, this guitar plays great. It's got the 1 5/8 nut, but it still feels good. Still feels good. Thanks for your question, Terry. Hopefully that answered your question. Hey, if it didn't answer your question, just hit me back. What time is it? Yeah. Okay. Yostinator, Jimmy B, Jimmy Biter. Hey, R2, R3, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Jeremy, what's up? Thank you for your service. Oh yeah, thanks, man. What I do in the Navy in August. I have been retired 7 years. I retired after 30 years in the Marines. Good for you, man. Finished a sergeant major. Good for you. MARSOC. Okay. Familiar with MARSOC. Love the videos. Appreciate it. A lot of military guys, man. Thanks for your service, bro. I did 23 years in the Navy. I retired as a chief. I was on several amphibs. So maybe we brushed elbows at one point in time. I was on Tripoli. I was on I was on Boxer temporarily. I was on USS Antietam, USS Milius, and USS Jarrett. I got my officer of the deck letter on Jarrett, which was a big accomplishment. And then I finished my tour working for Vice Admiral Curtis at Comnav Surf Pack in at Coronado. So I retired in 2011, stationed over in Coronado. I was stationed at Coronado twice. I did a tour with ACB-1, CB battalion in Coronado, and that was a cool tour. I didn't think it at the time, but it was cool to go be a Marine for 3 years. So yeah, I got to go to Pendleton, and I carried a 203 on my M16, so I got to go for 203 training, and I got to be a Marine for 3 years, and it was fun. All the PT, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it was an interesting experience. And it surely, I wish I would have, they had a pin. It was called a CB Combat Warfare pin. And I wish I would have got my excuse pin because that would have looked good on my uniform. But I just ended up going back to sea and got my Surface Warfare pin. But yeah, I'm very proud of my military service. And I think it made me a better person. And it made me a responsible person. It made me a perfectionist. I don't know if I was quite as bad of a perfectionist as I was until I got out of the military, but the military does require you to do things correctly. And I'm very proud to have served with the people that I served with. And I'm very proud of and I forget about it sometimes. It's weird, but sometimes I'll sit there and I'll be like really stressed out at work or something. I'll be like, hey, you know what? You're retired. Hey, you know what? You served your country, and whatever's going to be is going to be. And if you want to, you can pick it all up right now and just walk out. And that's a really good place to be. Not that I recommend walking out of work, but that's one luxury that I have definitely earned. And I've done it before. And I'll be honest with you, it feels pretty good. Metal Cop, I install Kaler locking clamps on Gibson Tune-O-Matic guitars with a TP6, fine-tuning tailpiece, tune stability for days. Okay. All right, man. Everybody listen to Metal Cop. Metal Cop's got some good stuff on his channel. Go check out his channel. And if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. At 40 Grit, the Shut Up Quentin thing is an inside joke. All good. Okay. All right. I'm not familiar with the inside jokes as much as some of you guys are. See here, Tony. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Wayne McConnell, thanks for coming back. I remember your name. Thanks for being here, man. Greetings to you as well, sir. And thanks for being here. I like my action a bit high, but I use a heavy pick and I hit hard. Makes sense. You know, like I said, there's so many things that come into your playing, and everybody's an individual, and that's the beauty about this whole guitar thing, because you can pick up somebody's guitar and it may be the worst playing guitar you ever felt, but at the end of the day, it's their guitar and that's what they like. And that's what makes it, that's what makes us all individuals. And that's what makes it cool. You know, just like when John was talking about the setups on Lynch and, you know, Nuno and DeMartini, he said their string gauges were different, but their actions were all very similar, you know? So, it was cool to check that stuff out. Very cool conversation. I haven't I need to text him and just thank him again for coming by, because that was a really good show. I've watched it again, you know, and he shared with us some cool information, you know, stuff that us guitar nerds like hearing, but you know, like the regular normal person who really wouldn't give a shit, they don't care. But that was a really cool show, and it was cool to see that. And hey, I mean, picking up somebody's guitar, and I'm not sure if I shared that story, but I think I shared it. But I saw there's a place in San Diego called Brick by Brick. And me and my buddy went in there to see Rat, and Warren wasn't there yet. And his guitar tech, I identified his guitar. It was not John. I identified his guitar tech, and I said, that's Warren's tech. So I was watching what he was doing. He had the back door open, and I go, hey, can I go check? Hey, is Warren Snakeskin here? And he goes, yeah. And I go, hey, can I check it out? He goes, yeah. He brings it outside and hands it to me. And I was like, oh my God. I was sitting there looking at it. And I just remember going, I'll never have one of these. I'll never have one of these. And I think that's why I chased those performances as strongly as I did. Which actually, Jeff had a good experience with performance as well. He said that he saw my my block, my performance block, that 37 block I have out in the garage, and he goes, "Yeah, I called him and bought a pickup from him, and bought a block from him." And Kenny called me, like he's like, "Why is it? I'm getting a phone call from Los Angeles." Kenny calls him, "Hey man, performance guitar. Those guys are freaking awesome." And they're perfectionists, and they do really awesome work. He's not doing the snakeskins anymore, which I'm glad. I scored the two that I scored, because I was telling Jeff today, I got that one, which is the real deal. And then I have another real deal in the closet that has just the one single humbucker. So, but I think that's why I chased those so much, because I remember holding his guitar. I don't know what year that was. It was Jizzy Pearl. So it's probably around 2000, 2001. And I remember holding that guitar going, I will never have one of these. It's probably why I chase the stuff like I do. Probably why I chase the guitars like I do, because I grew up looking at guitars going, I'll never have one of those. I'll never have one of those. You know? I remember specifically when I was in grade school having a dream about, at the end of my bed, having a plastic case with a 5150 in it. And I remember I was just like looking at it going, "Oh my god, if I had a 5150, I would have it in a glass case." And yeah, it's just cool to think about that stuff because that's why. And I was telling Jeff today, I said, I come in here, there's a reason I've got a lot of guitars in the closet. There's a reason why I keep those guitars on the wall because I just like to come in here and look at them. I don't play them. I don't play those guitars on the wall. Which I mean, you can say, God, what a waste, or it's my prerogative. Um, it is a waste. It is. But I like looking at them. So, and that's that. Oh, but look at that. Anyone else please don't drool. There's no reason to drool. They're cool guitars. I drool. I come in here and look at them. I'm like, just how lucky are we to grow up when we grew up to have people that influenced us so much to where you have to have the guitar. You have to have the guitar. I have to have those guitars. They made so much impact on me. The guitar players made so much impact on me. I didn't think about anything other than guitars when I was young. When I went in the military, I kind of lost it because I became military focused and stuff, but it all came back, and it came back way stronger than before, way stronger. And yeah, I'm very blessed, and I work very hard, and if you work hard, good things will happen. And I will tell you that I surely work way too much, and I have a very accepting better half, and she's very accepting for this, because there's not a lot of women out there that would say, every time, she said to me not too long ago, "Hey, you haven't bought a guitar in a while." And it sparked something not so good. And then I got to stop. So, we had a discussion the other day where we're just going to take a break for a little while from buying guitar stuff. So I'm sorry if I got off on a tangent, but hey, I look at that wall and I drool. I drool because of the influence that people had on me. And Ed, which when I saw that video today, not being gay, not being weird or anything, but I got teared up when I saw Ed walk away in that video, and he had the striped guitar on him, because he's not here anymore, man. So you don't think about him, as much as you think about him when they would come out and they were to be something new, and it sparks your interest again, and you're all back over Ed again, and it's all great again. It's gone, and then you see that and you're like, oh God, I miss that guy, you know? But then I come in here and I look at this stuff and I'm like, okay, 5150 live out of net. Okay, cool. And then I run through everything in my head and I'm like, oh my God. And then there's the docking line. And then you start talking about docking stuff and rat, and man, we're just really blessed, man, to be like, grew up when we grew up. So Stu Petty says, I like the new Sammy. Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, cool, man. Appreciate your comment. Andy Carson, I just picked up oh, cool, man. Andy a JS 2410 with edge trem floating. Anyone here any tips on tricks on keeping them happy? So the edge trem, I have one Ibanez, and it's that floral, and they're not difficult to set up from a Floyd. I mean, they're pretty easy. If you have any questions or anything, you could hit me up, with the specifics. I would, is a maple fretboard. I don't know what that is. I assume it's a Joe Satriani, but maple board, rosewood board. What is it? Probably a maple thinking, but congratulations on your purchase, dude. That's cool. Metal Cop says 40s guitars and setups were absolutely spot on. All killer players, like noticeably better than I'm used to. Well, I appreciate that, bro. I wish I could set up everybody's guitar on this channel, or at least look at everybody's guitar on this channel and go, okay, hey man, what if we tweak this? What if we tweak that? I think that'd be fun. It'd be fun. I just like making a guitar better. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I have a lot of the guitars that I have, because I saw them and I'm like, I can fix that. And I would go buy it and I'd fix it, and then they sit. And it's really it's really not good, but I mean, it's not like I'm losing. I've bought them all good, I think. And it's not like I'm going to be losing money when the time comes for me to sell them. But I will tell you that probably 80% of the guitars I bought in the last 10 years was just because I saw them for a good price. They had a problem. I wanted to fix it, and I brought it home and I fixed it, and then it just added to the collection. So, but I appreciate that. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. I had a really good teacher. I had some really good teachers that taught me how to do guitar setups. Several different people. So I really can't say it's me. It's not. Bradley Wood says it's no doubt harder to play fast, but I'm going to not play any others and force myself to get used to it for a while. Okay. Um it's no doubt harder to play fast. But it'll probably make you more proficient. It'll probably make you better because if you play a more difficult to play guitar and then when you go to gigs. So that was one of my secrets. I would play a guitar that didn't play as good as I practiced throughout the week, and then when I went to the gig, I always took my best playing guitars, so it was easier to pull off, like. And then, man, I had guitars for the end of the night that I had set up to where like the bends were just like butter. Because after a 4 hour set, yeah, after 4 1 hour sets from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock in the morning, at the end of the night, especially in the wintertime when you were playing outside in California, freezing outside, I would have guitars. I was so strategic. I had guitars for the end of the night that just played the easiest. So in case my finger started to hurt or it was cold or whatever, that I could grab my easiest playing guitars. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. No shame in that game, man. I mean, like, that's why it's cool having different guitars that you can that you could go to. They're going to play better or not as good. And then when you go back to something, you got something. It's easier. Andy Carr says Jimmy Spider specialty. Talking about chub tone, I think. Randy Price is going to give me give me about a month or so and I'll buy it from you. I think we're talking about the chub tone. I don't know if I'd sell it. Jeff played that guitar today and he goes, man, this is a good one, man. He goes, the checking on this guitar is just fantastic. It's a good one. That chub tone's a good one. Okay, there's one of my military buddies. Hello everyone, late to the party. Nice chub tone 40. Congrats. Yeah, Brian has got a channel as well. Check out his channel. Coffee Drinker 71. And he's got some cool stuff on his channel too. And he was in the military as well as in the Navy. I think he's a corpsman. So thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate it. My brother from the mess. Say DR something strings for the win. Okay, so if that's something that I need to check into, let me know, Randy. I'm so used to going with the Ernie balls, but I played those. That Nuno's got the Diodario 9-42 on it, and man, they're just a little more stiff. And I was kind of liking it. I was kind of liking the feel of that. Oh yeah, R2 says Diodario all the way from me. Guitar Talk Universe says Super Slinkies. Yeah, I'm Super Slinky too, man. Yeah, I like the Ernie balls. Andy Carson says a D Markley Blue Steels. Okay. Oh, cool, man. So we're on a string conversation. I went through. Did you guys ever check out the String Joy? String Joy did the 9-40 for me. They did a bunch of packs, and the String Joys were good. I liked them until I found out that Ernie Ball does the Van Halen 9-40 as well. They do the 15 and they do the 40. You just got to buy them individually. So what I do is I buy the 9-42 pack, and then I have an overabundance of 42s and 16s. So you can do the Van Halen strings. They used to do those. They're called the 1000 XL 1000 or something like that, and it was the 9, 11, 15, 24, 32, and 40. And though that's the Van Halen gauge, which is in the 5150 strings when we were. Where am I at? Got them in a Ziploc bag. They're over there. That was the Van Halen 5150 strings. 9, 11, 15, 24, 32, 40. So that's still what I'd use on some guitars. I tried to go 9-42 on that on that Wolfgang guitar that what's that Wolfgang's guitar, that EVH, whatever it's called. And I couldn't get it. It was just way too tight. So I ended up going 9-40 on that one. So I try to put 9-40 because I thought with that 24-inch scale, that it was going to do better with the 9-42, and it didn't. Or actually, I think I started with hybrids, and it was like, oh my god, this thing plays like shit. And then I swapped it out to 9-42, and then I went to 9-40 on that guitar, the SA 126. God, man, I get on the show and I got so many stuff going in my head, I can't remember anything. Let's see here. Yostinator, free Schenker played a super strat. Yeah, it's cool looking. Chub Tone called it the Oreo cookie, so I think I'll probably go with the Oreo cookie over. This is a good question coming up. Stu Petty's laughing. Randy says, so for you prefer a 2-piece maple over 1-piece? I do. You know why? For stability. I like the stability. If it's hard rock, I mean, a quarter sawn, it probably doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, I think I'd rather have a 2-piece just because of stability. That's just my take on it. Remember, Ernie Ball and Peavy had problems. Peavy especially had problems with those bird's eye necks. A lot of warping, a lot of twisting. So, bird's eye is an imperfect wood. All wood's imperfect, but it's a diseased wood and it's imperfect. So, usually bird's eye, I kind of stay away from it, on a 1-piece because they'll twist and you could have problems. It just depends on how it's kept. Once it gets to be, it'll be kept well. I'll check the neck as soon as I get it. It's not like I can't fix it or, figure it out what the issue is, but figure it out. Chuck C says, nice Chub Tone. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Looking forward to getting it. I think I get it on Thursday. Like I said, it started to get warm here too. Once it starts getting warm, it's going to be difficult to get out in the garage, mess around with that stuff. See here. Sean Lane, guitarist from Memphis. He was deadly shredding in 1980 he's all over YouTube. Okay, I will check him out tonight. I will add that to my list. I have some stuff I have to look at tonight, so I will add that to my list, Ronnie Parker. Ronnie Parker, thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate it. Scoo, Guitar Talk Universe. They tried that with Extreme and Nuno sent them packing. I wonder what's that referring to? They tried what with Extreme? I'd like to know what that's referring to. Nuno sent them packing. I watched the Rick Beato interview too again with Nuno. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of on a Nuno kick. He's a cool cat, man. And he's cool because I think that he's such a Van Halen fan. It's just cool. He's such a he's cool. He's such a Van Halen guy. It's cool. Johnny Rasmussen, I haven't seen you in here before. And if you have been, I apologize, but thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Can't recall the Kramer you purchased, the headstock having that shape. Wonder which one that was. As the Sir, I remember when I first started working at Sir, I said, yeah, it's a Kramer headstock. John Sir looked at me like, no, it's not. I wonder which one we're referring to. I don't know. Blue Mox says, I've had a couple of locking nuts that lower strings in the middle of the field, but only on specials. Go figure. Huh. Well, yeah. I actually have a picture at work on my screensaver of the Lynch guitars when I had LTDs and I had gutted them. And I upgraded everything to Floyd Rose, to the right pickups, to everything. And I actually liked the Limiteds better because they weren't maple and they were more comfortable. If you're going to gig, because that's back when I was going, well, when I gig again, I'm taking this. Chances of me gigging again are 0.0. But I'd say, well, shoot, if I got to go to a gig, I'll take these LTDs. They play great and they look cool. I got that stuff immediately, but I'm really not in that mode anymore to where I want to buy the cheaper guitars. Actually, Ryan was talking about it the other day, and I think I made a comment like, I like buying the mid-level guitars and just upgrading them. I'm not really into that anymore so much. I got the parts for it. God knows I got the parts for it, but I'm really not doing that much anymore. What I'd recommend is if you buy a guitar that has any kind of special stuff on it, get it off. Get it off. It's worth the upgrade. Set it up, and then it's going to play so much better. It's going to play so much better. Yeah, Randy, Kylie Olson. That's it. The chick you're thinking of. She did a Fender Factory. I saw it. I saw it. Keep your yeah. Yes, there is locking nut conversation in the chat. John DeShane, what's up, man? How you doing? Love your amplifier. Love your tone. That head first is a nice amp, man. I wish I could justify getting one, but I just can't. It's going to open up a can of worms. I wish I could justify the synergy that Randy's got going on, that Randy and Jimmy Biter got going on. I wish I could justify that for me because it'd be cool to have that kind of online tone. But with as much as I'm online tone playing, it probably doesn't make sense for me to do that. But man, they sound fantastic. Sound fantastic. Guitar Talk Universe. I just scored a deal from Guitar Center used on my Schecter, but they forgot to ship the trem bar and wrenches. Yeah, well, you got to watch that Guitar Center used stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, good stuff pops up on that, man. Good stuff pops up on Guitar Center used. The used garage. Like I said, I got this one for 800, and they go all day for 1100 on Reverb. So it's a good whoa. That was a good purchase. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Let's see here. Randy says, Guitar Talk Universe, you should have had them swap those pickups. It would have been quicker. Is Quentin swapping the pickups out? Is that what you're talking about? Are you doing an upgrade on it or something? Upgrades are fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're fun. That green box back there on the floor, I was telling Jeff today, that green box there to my left, that's full of pickups. I have so many pickups in there for projects. It's maybe one day, or maybe like I said, maybe one day I'll just open a store and then I'll be able to sell all that stuff off. No, something happened. That insider joke. Ryan Parsons says, good times at the Mew for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. We took Somalia. Tripoli Amphibious Ready Group took Somalia, and 15th Mew was on board with us, and it was Colonel Newbolt, who went to Joint Chiefs at the Pentagon, and Lieutenant Colonel Blankenhorn. And I remember I was re-enlisting, and Colonel Newbolt was just you saw him walking around. He was somebody to be that you wanted to talk to. And I remember I had asked to have Colonel Newbolt re-enlist me. I wanted to fly into Somalia so I could get my combat pay for the month. And then I said I want to have Colonel Newbolt re-enlist me, and they said no. My chain of command said no because they were offended. So me and my chief flew into Somalia, and I re-enlisted in Somalia and got my combat pay for the month. So, yeah, I guess I was a signalman. I did Morse code, on the shutters. I was a topside guy, the flags and the Morse code. That was my job when I was on board warships. So, CBs are the fucking best. Had good times getting drunk with them. Yeah, spent a lot of times getting drunk too, and yeah. Yeah, the worst story that comes to mind is Darwin, Australia. We went out one night and we ran into these Australian Navy guys, and we were trying to outdrink each other. And then it got heated between a Australian Navy diver friend, and one of my friends, and they started getting ready to fight, and we broke them up. And then we all kind of separated, and then we're walking back to the ship that night. And we're walking on one side of the street, and my friend Cliff, I was with my friend Cliff and John, and we're walking back to the ship, and Cliff goes running for no reason. We're like, dude, what are you doing? And he's running, and we see the Navy diver walking in front of us. So Cliff runs by him and smacked him on the ass so hard that you heard it like snap. And I go, oh my God, we're all gonna fight. And it was funny because you just heard go, Cliff, you mother, and Cliff just kept running back to the ship. The guy couldn't catch him. So it's, yeah, plenty of good times having fun with alcohol overseas. So to all this, my Marine brother saved me. Saved you how, R2? Please elaborate. Would love to hear that story. Semper Fi, Sergeant Major. Thank you for your service. Retired FMC, HMC, FMF, Fleet, FMF, man. Yeah, FMF, Marine Corps. I still remember all that stuff, man. Yeah. Yep. Lots of military guys on here. It's cool, man. We are amongst brothers. See here, massive respect for the military, current and former. All right, let's get back on it. Let's get back on the guitar stuff, guys. I don't talk about. I'm gonna have to start a military channel. 40 grade. I'm heading down to Pendleton next week. Been a while since I've been down there. Yeah, Pendleton's a cool base, man. Yeah, my son went there for some training with the Marines on computer stuff, and that's the last. That's the last I dealt with Camp Pendleton. Umberto, what's up, man? What's up, 40 Grit? How's the Texas Ghost doing? Let me know how the Texas Ghost is doing. Would love to hear about the Texas Ghost. Stephen Franklin, thanks for being here. Welcome to the chat. See here. What brand of spray can clear have you used on all your guitar projects? You know what? I don't. I go rattle can color and I'm done. Because I don't want to put because chances are I'm not gonna do a nice, pretty finished coat. I'm just gonna relic it. So I go with color, and then I've got my own. I got some other stuff I do, but I do not spray any clear over it at all. It's straight color. I seal I seal it. I do seal it with a satin, and then I'll seal the body, and then I go color, and then I'm done. Because then I just scrape it all off. I just bang it up and relic it. And so yeah, I don't I'm not really a big finish guy. It's not something can I do it? Yes. Do I enjoy doing it? No. Frets. Do I enjoy doing frets? No. Will I do it? Yes. Only for myself. And I was talking to somebody about that the other day. And I said, I hate doing fret jobs. That's just one thing. They're time consuming. And I just don't enjoy doing it. So I'd rather pay somebody to do a fret job for me to go do it. But the problem is when I got the DeMartini and I had to do the fret job on that, I'm like, okay, if I take this guitar to somebody, they're going to sit on it for 3 weeks, and then I'm going to get it back. And it's not going to be perfect. So I just might as well just do it myself. So it's terrible. It's terrible. So that's why it's always good to have a good. It's always good to have a good guitar guy to go to. Franklin, R2 saying hello. Stephen Franklin, what's up? Humberto says color tone I heard is good. Yeah, color tone. I like the I've used the Stu Mac stuff. Stu Mac stuff never seems to disappoint. And that's I think Stu Mac's good stuff. Is it expensive? Yes, but there's a reason why it's expensive. It's good stuff. Gorman Up. How long were you on Greenside for? That's cool, man. It's like Gorman Up. I had a friend of mine that was FMF, and he was IDC on Jarrett, and Billy Janik. What a guy! Silver Star. Picked up a Silver Star when he was with FMF. I won't say how he got his Silver Star, but it made me sit there and look at him and go, man. Just, True hero. Ryan Parsons says something about the Lynch signature ESPs where the verse hockey has. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're cool. They're cool, man. Lynch signature ESPs, heavy. The Sunburst Tiger isn't that heavy. The Kamikaze, it's a tank. The Bones, it's heavy. Jeff picked that guitar. Metal Cop picked that guitar up today, and he said, "Man, this is heavy." Yeah, they are heavy. The yellow six screw bangle isn't that bad. I've got a Kami 4 in there, and that one isn't that heavy either. Tim Thomas, Andy Carson, Berto. What a great. Ever had or played the Wilton or DeGarmo signature? No, I have not, but they're cool. I have not ever played those. I've played the Jakey Lee ESP. I've played all of the Lynch ESPs, and then I'm trying to think. I think I had one of those pickguard ESPs, like a Vito Bratta, at one time, and they're cool. They're cool. ESP makes good guitars. A 3-year tour and 2 years at. Okay, they're talking about military stuff. Lewis says, hello, Louis Villarreal. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see here. After Fisted Cuffer says, after 9 years of having a guitar room, I finally was able to set up a room. The past couple of weeks, most of my guitars are mid-range cost, but I just like seeing some of them out on the wall. Yeah, you're not kidding, man. It's cool to look at your guitars, and cool to look at what you spend your money on, and cool to be able to look at it. So you're right, 100%. Congratulations, dude. It's cool to set stuff up. Cool to set stuff up. Working with the box kickers on the wing. Nice to hear, brother. Yeah, cool, man. What about Camp Lejeune? Rosewood board. Okay, so yeah, Andy, rosewood board. The first thing that I would do on a rosewood board is I'd hydrate it with some lemon oil. You know, get it cleaned up and get it hydrated, because sometimes those when you get a new guitar, I would support the bridge, not pull the springs out or everything. Just stick something under there. You can use a block of wood, something, but they got those trem stoppers now. You can slide those things in there. Like take all the strings off it. So the bridge is supported. It's not going to pop off or anything. And then get the strings off it, lemon oil the neck, let that soak in, see how quick it soaks in. If it soaks in real quick, I put another coat, and then you're going to be shocked at how great that guitar plays with lemon oil on it if you don't do it already. Lemon oil on rosewood, 100% must, got to have it. Fantastic. And then restring to your liking, start at the headstock, check your nut, check relief, restring, restring, start from headstock, check your nut, check your relief, check your action, check your pickup height. I've gone through pickup height measurements. That's a good place to start. You can check out my other setup videos, and then work your way down to bridge, adjust bridge, which you've probably already done on a Floyd because you set your action, and then final will be setting intonation on the bridge, and then you're good to go. Can't goof it up if you start at the headstock. John Gregory says, Mike, to me, thoughts, those guitars are the most beautiful art that anyone can have. Yeah. I mean, for us, for some people, they probably look at it and go, why do you have so many guitars? Yeah. Well, why do you have so many purses? Why do you have so many shoes? Why do you have so many of whatever it is you like? But yeah, I agree with you. It is art, and it's fun to look at. Yeah, a lot of fun. Did a deployment 24th view to Somalia. Got a few vids on my channel. So many great memories. Yeah, we took Somalia. 15th Mew took Somalia, and George Bush flew in on Air Force One, and I still have pictures, and that was really cool. Secret Service was working out of the Signal Shack, so they had all their comm gear up there, and I got to see President Bush one night. Came up the Signal Bridge, and then the Secret Service guys are up there, and when the president left, we flew his flag, the presidential flag, on the ship because he spent 2 nights on board, And when he left, I took the flag and I had it at my rack. And my chief called and goes, "Hey Palmer, where's the presidential flag?" And I go, I don't know." And they said, "Well, everybody says you have it." And I said, "Oh yeah, it's in my rack." They gave it to me, and they did. The Secret Service or the Secret Service guy gave it to me. He goes, here you go, man." And he goes, "You need to go down and get it. That's mine." And I gave it back to him like a dumbass. But I did have the presidential flag in my rack for a couple hours before my chief took it. Good old Lejeune loved it. Military talk. Military talk. Small world. Lots of military talk. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Let's see, Guitar Man 40. Sorry about the. Here we go. Two piece for the win. So much more stable than a one piece. I think so too. I had an old school San Dimas Charvel with a one piece and constantly tweaking it. I think so. I think that there's something to that. You know, it's funny. Randy hasn't commented again since I made that comment. I wonder what he prefers. Randy, what do you prefer? Did you go to bed, Randy? I remember the change when one pieces where they all ranged. A couple friends of mine took them on the road for shows and just travel had issues versus the two. Yeah, I just rather have a two piece neck. I think I would. Okay. Brian Harrison says current day EVH Wolfgang Special versus Wolfgang USA. What are your thoughts? Current day EVH Wolfgang Special versus USA. Well, I've got the black and white USA. I've got the black and white made in Japan. And I got this one, which would be a modern day special. And then I've got that USA. So I think they all play really good. And I think that it depends on how much money you have to spend on it. And I think the cool thing about the Wolfgangs is you can make them play good. It doesn't matter. There's some guitars you just can't make play as good as some other guitars, but these Wolfgang guitars, it seems like you can always get them to play good. You know, I don't have problems with these not playing well at all. The thing with me and the Wolfgangs, they're sometimes they're kind of awkward. They're not the first guitar I would grab, but when you go and you start playing them and you're like, "Oh my God, this thing plays really good." Like this one, I'll come in here on Saturdays before work and I'll just noodle on this one. And it plays fantastic. It's got the R2 nut, 1 and 5/8, which is kind of small for me. But man, I mean, this neck just feels good. Feels good. So I would say it 100% comes down to how much money you want to spend, Brian. But you can make the Wolfgangs play good. You can make them play good. Brian says it seems like this one, the one is still preferred. Maybe the one piece deck is still preferred. Maybe for the old school guys. I don't know. I'd rather have a two piece. I'm thinking of getting the Epiphone Widow from Guitar Center. $700. I think they look cool. The Epiphone Widow. I'll check it out when I get off. Oh, Yostinator says he has the Indigo Widow on order. Okay, that's cool. Wall Cries says, "Oh, here we go." Okay, so okay, so YOU. They're too close together, bro. You're killing me. Said it. Oh, you're killing me. Yeah, I can read it, man. Trust me. Yeah, it's. Ugh. I don't even. I've had somebody throw some Morse code at me in a long time. They're too close together. I can't disseminate between all of them. There goes HIM THIM. Well, I'm not going to try to decipher that. They're clued too. Wall of Cries are too close together. I can't read them. Yostinator, cool. I was thinking the Red Burst. Yostinator, I have several 2020 present Epis. They're great. Yeah, you know, I've got a friend of mine that bought all of those Epiphones with the different paint or the different painting on the back. I forgot what the guy's name is, but he's a big hey, I have a friend of mine who buys those Epiphones and they're great. He loves them. Chuck C was a truck mechanic in the army. Congratulations, sir. Thanks for your service, man. Appreciate it. Phil, what's up, man? How's Michigan? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I just stumbled on your new build, your Strat. It looks good. Greetings from Michigan. Phil's in Michigan, and he's a good guy, man. So nice to see you. Thanks for being here, bro. And I like your green build. Yeah, the one you just did with the burst and the green, the sharp guitar, man. Good job. Texas Ghost is flying high. Thanks to you. I love it. Yeah, that's a cool guitar. I'm glad she's doing good. Guitar Man 45 said they sent my son to Germany for some sort of training and certification a while back. According to him, that's where they do it. I wonder what kind of training it was. Metal Cop says the StewMac color tone clear lacquer though. See, yeah, I mean, like StewMac's going to be a little more expensive, but I think it's the good stuff. I think it's the good stuff. My techs do not just sit on my guitars. My techs do not just sit on my guitars. They always care of me, take care of me, no complaints. Okay. Oh, I see where you're going with that because it's going to take me 3 weeks to get my guitar back. Yeah. I'm not taking my guitars to anybody. Jimmy Biter loves doing fret work. So if you guys are looking for a fret job, hit up Jimmy Biter. He's refretting a neck right now. Congratulations. Randy Price says, I'm gonna paint my next project you sent to Floyd and stick it in the freezer for a couple of days. Well, that's the way to get it to check. Got to be lacquer though. Don't go putting poly in the freezer. It ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't gonna do nothing. That's funny. Yostinator, my best friend, is a tank mechanic. Very nice, man. Lots of military stuff going on tonight. Very nice. I miss it. I miss the camaraderie. I miss the people. Sometimes you don't miss the people when you're with them, but after you not with them, you miss them. Andy Carson says thanks. Yostinator says because I can. Maybe that's because of the room. I don't know what that was about. Hello everyone. Dan Gorman, what's up? I was yeah, it's I'm not plugged in. See here. Dan Gorman, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. 40 great. You mentioned Vito. Too bad he basically gave not wanting to do any more White Lion. I don't know, man. If you read the stories on that guy, he had a lot of family stuff going on, and he went for the family stuff, take care of his family. So, no worries there. I'd be like, no complaints there. The guy went to go, do his own thing. And he was very troubled with the music business. I think he was kind of crapped out by the music business. I guess the last album they did, he felt was the best White Lion album, and it didn't get the reviews that he thought it should have gotten. So he was kind of burned out on the music industry. So I think that's why he bailed. Randy says 2-piece. There you go. Wall of Cries. Wall of Cries. And F Randy. Unless it's quarter sawn. Yeah, I mean the quarter sawn will give you the strength. I'm with you on that, buddy. I am with you there. Metal Cop says 1-piece quarter sawn still moves a lot. I still love the neck, and I wish I never sold it. We'll see how that chub tone goes. We'll see how it is. It's it is what it is. I'm sure it's fine. Wolfgang Standard versus Wolfgang Special, EVH Relic, price and aesthetic, the size, playability, quality, sound. The first time live stream, I enjoy your video. Oh, cool, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Wolfgang Standard versus Special versus Relic. Oh, shoot. I've got that Wolfgang Custom in there, too, that when I got in like 2000. What year did I get that? Came out here in 15, so probably 2016. I got that one too. I don't know. I don't play him enough to I like the Wolfgang pickups. I like the Alnico 2s. I'm really not an Alnico. Well, I can't say I'm not an Alnico 2 fan because these are Alnico 2s. The RTM's an Alnico 2, and that's one of my favorite pickups. So I guess I am an Alnico 2 and an Alnico 5 guy. Um, Playability, quality, and sound. I think that all the Wolfgangs play good. I like the pickups, and I appreciate you being here. Hey, this one, this is an Andy Timmons pickup though in the bridge, and man, it's fantastic. Randy Price actually knows a lot about the Andy Timmons and the tone zone and all that, but I like the tone zone, and this pickup's very comparable, but it's different at the same time. I do like the Andy Timmons. So would I put it in another guitar? I don't know. It's cool to have it in one guitar and it sounds good. So this guitar, man, I wish you guys could play this guitar. Jeff, you should have played this one today. I don't know if you did, but at least take a couple bends on this one. This is crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's good. Match 2BU wondering how a brass block on a standard Strat would sound. I think it's going to sound good. I like the Jeff and I looked at each other today and said, hey, so do you do brass on majority? Yeah. He goes, I do too. And I don't know why. I don't even know if there's a tone difference. I've done it so much on all my guitars now. It's just like the one something that I do. So I guess some of my tone, some of my sound comes from that block, and I like it. And I got them. And I've got the block in there, and it's a good transfer from brass to body, and these are basswood. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's cool. It's cool. Bradley Wood. Bradley Wood's leaving us. Guy Run 40, sincere thanks to you and all the other military. Hey man, thanks to you. Thank you for your service, and thanks for being here. Appreciate it, and thanks for being here tonight, man. Appreciate it. Maybe I should just do a military night. We could all come in here. We can all talk about military stuff, because I can certainly talk everybody's ear off about military stuff. Just there's nobody to talk about it anymore. It's kind of weird. I feel like I don't keep up with my military friends as much as I probably should. And that's one thing I'm guilty of. I don't. Shoot, I got 40 grit from one of my good friends, Lance Schoenbaum. He was a trainer at a float training group, and I was a junior signalman, and I used to go to the pre-X and the post-X's, post-exercise, pre-exercise, and I used to just flame spray people for not doing stuff correctly. In these, we would have debriefs. A debrief is the best way. They would do the exercise, and then we would have a debrief on Friday. And I would go in there and say, well, this ship didn't do it right. This is why he didn't do it right, and blah, blah, blah. And I came back the next week, and he said, we're going to start calling you 40 grit, good old 40 grit. So every time he would see me, and we knew each other for years. And every time I would come walking in, he would say, good old 40 grit. And I'm like, what's up, Lance? So yeah, I can't take the Lance named me 40 grit. And what year was that? I was on Antietam. So that was probably 1999 when I got that name, 40 grit. So, yep, 1999 came from a military friend of mine. So, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Ryan Parsons did not know that. Thanks for dropping the knowledge on. Yeah, Brad, Eddie Trunk has some really good Vito. He's had Vito Bratta on, and he's talked about the stuff. I'd recommend go and look up the serious interviews with Vito Bratta and Eddie Trunk. Eddie Trunk knows him, and he's got him on a couple times, and they're good. So you should, if you're into Vito Bratta, you can find that stuff on YouTube. I've listened to him, and it's cool. Randy Price, Ryan Parsons. I think Vito Pops had cancer battle, and Vito went to yeah, and they had a hotel or hotels, and he became the caretaker of the family, from what I understand. Vito in the music business is dead on. If the label didn't give you the album the support it deserves, it dies. Lukather book confirms this was the death of Toto. No label support sad. Hey man, Steve Lukather, I could listen to that guy talk for hours. I love watching his interviews, especially when he starts talking about Ed, because there's just a genuine love between those two guys, and it's so cool to hear them talk. But Which also on the flip side of that, I'm just going to say one thing about the whole Sammy Hagar thing. And I was talking to Jeff about it today, which kind of goes hand in hand with the Steve Lukather thing. You know, there's something I can only think it's the book that Hagar wrote when he was slanderous about Ed. And I think that, you know, the brother blood, I think that just kind of goof things up, because I think it's kind of weird how Hagar keeps pursuing Al and Al doesn't even respond. It's like he doesn't exist. And how Al said at the end of the book that the music died in 84, and that's why he ended the book in 84. You know, rock music died in 84. Rock and roll died in 1984. And so I don't know, but I do think that I would like to see Sammy just move on and stop talking about the Eddie Van Halen stuff and stop talking about wanting to talk to Al and stuff like that, because, you know, and something else too, I'm of Hagar cloth. I graduated in 89. So I was so Hagar, and I loved Hagar. I was more Hagar than I was Roth, but it's at the point now to where it's almost getting a little strange that he's still chasing the relationship with Al. Let it go, man. You know, let it go, move on, do your own thing, you know, and you've been very successful, and just let it go. You know, like I saw a Blabbermouth thing. It says, I'm not taking this to my grave. Do you have a choice? You have a choice. I don't think you do. Randy Price says, that sucks, man. I hate to hear that, but mad respect. Metal Cop, good to go. Let's see here. Brian, so you got to run, guys. Hey, dude, thanks for being here. Check out Coffee Drinker 71. He's got some cool stuff on his channel. Check it out. And hey, dude, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Always love the military talk. I appreciate it. Yostinator, why do you have so many guitars? Because I can. Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's kind of like a dick comment, but because I can. I don't know. I watched that 5-watt world guy, and he said, they're all tools, and if you have too many guitars, then you're hoarding, and it's a tool, and it's not meant to hang. And then I went through this thing where I think I talked about this already, and I called my buddy and I go, bro, I think I'm just going to sell everything, man. He's like, what are you talking about? Shut up. And then I came back to my senses. What was your dream guitar growing up? That's a quick. Hey, Angel Alvarez. I haven't seen you in the chat before. Welcome. My dream guitar growing up. Oh, Kramer Beretta. Easy. Kramer Beretta. My best friend of all time, Lou, we're brothers. I shouldn't even say friend. We're brothers. We grew up together, and we met each other in English class. And I knew that Lou played. I knew he was an Eddie Van Halen fan because he's a fantastic artist. And Lou had drawn a picture of Eddie Van Halen, and the art teacher put it up in the art window. And I saw it, and I went and looked who did it, and it said Lou and his last name. And I said, man, and I saw him, and I started asking around, and people say, oh yeah, he plays guitar. So we ended up being in an English class together. And I said, so you play guitar? He goes, yeah. And I said, yeah, me too. And I go, what kind of guitar you got? He goes, Kramer Ripley. I go, oh yeah? He goes, what do you got? I go, I got a Beretta. Yeah, what kind of amp you got? I go, I got a Marshall Stack. And I go, what about you? And he said something. And then, you know, we go in there and talk, you know, in English class. Yeah, this is 11th grade. And we ended up getting together, like, you know, have a sleepover or whatever. We go to each other's house. We're like, hey man, where's your Ripley at? Hey, where's your Marshall Stack? You know, so that joke's gone on our entire life, you know. But it's funny because he's got a great guitar collection too. And we got a lot of Kramer stuff between the two of us. We always laugh about the Marshall Stack and the Kramer Ripley. It's hilarious. So yeah, dream guitar growing up, Kramer Beretta for sure. What was your dream guitar growing up? I'd like to know. TT says, thanks, man. Randy says, Metal Cop, exactly. So many great bands are ruined by labels dropping support for one-hit wonders in the 90s. Yeah, I agree with that. They throw in streaming over the last 2 decades, and now bands usually just sign distribution deals and start their own labels and publishing companies. Yeah. Did you guys see that Henson Studios was bought by John Mayer? Because Henson is where Van Halen did A Different Kind of Truth, the David Lee Roth stuff. I think they did some of the instrument stuff there, but the majority of it was done at 5150. And then Dave liked working at Henson. And I just heard the other day, it was Tim Pierce and Beato interview, and they said that Henson Studios just sold to John Mayer and somebody else. I was like, oh my God, it's just crazy, man. And they were talking about the lack of studios now. There's just not studios anymore. Everybody does it from home. It's something that's dying. So it's something that's dying. I've never been in the military or come from a military family, but having a military night for those who have been in service would definitely be cool. Jimi Hendrix was an ex-military. Yes, he was. Yeah. That'd be cool. Maybe I should do a military night and just so we could talk about all military. I don't know how many people would come, but that'd be fun to just have all the military guys in one night. I might do that. That's good content. I am thankful and appreciated to all those who have served. I didn't end up in the service, but had two uncles that did. Yeah. Yeah. I think we all know somebody that served. And, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have because they served their country. So, yeah, hats off to your two uncles there, sir. It's good to, it's the sacrifice that you don't recognize when you're in, and then you get out and you realize what you did sacrifice. Like, I work long hours at work, and the guys will sit at work and go, man, I work 12 hours days. I went home at midnight and blah, blah, blah. And I just want so bad to go, hey, bro, you got to sleep in your own bed every night. I went 6 to 9 months without sleeping in my own bed, nor seeing my child, nor seeing my wife. So I don't want to hear you crying about working 12 to 14-hour work days. So, hats off to the military guys in the chat, because we all know that sacrifice. The best Lukather interview was the Sunset Sound. Yes. It was awesome. Yes. Great interview. And he was on fire on it. It was so funny to watch him. It was so funny to watch him make everybody laugh. So if you haven't seen the Steve Lukather Sunset Sound, please go watch it. It's awesome. Sock 68 says, what time is it? 7:47. I'm going to end it at 8 because I know my gal's sitting back there waiting for me to get off of here. Thoughts on the Ernie Ball Music Man Axis? Just picked up one. I'm impressed. Yes, they're good guitars. I have 2 PV Wolfgangs, 2 EVH Wolfgang Standards, and 3 striped series guitars. Yeah. And you're impressed with the Ernie Ball Axis. Yeah. I like I was just telling Jeff today, I got that Axis in San Diego, and I think I paid $900 for it. I think that's what my son paid for it. And I went out and paid him back. He was out there in San Diego. And I said, hey, can you go buy this guitar? And he goes, yeah, I think I want to say I got it for $900. It's a good deal. Yeah, and they're great guitars. I've got a black one. I've got the black Van Halen. I pulled that out today and showed it to Jeff. It's the first time that case has been open in weeks. Andy Carson, be careful, man. Duty calls. Much appreciated. Duty calls. Be safe. Ryan Parsons says at 40 grit, Sammy is like a dog with a bone in it, like Mustaine and Metallica. But I have to agree, 5150 and For Love Crown Knowledge got me hooked on Van Halen. Yeah, man. Of course. Yeah. I was a young kid. I don't want anybody, please, nobody say that I'm bad mouthing Sammy. I just wish that he would move on from it because maybe because I respect him so much. It's like, hey, bro, if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, the best thing to do is don't talk to him. Don't sit there and talk about why they won't talk to him. I mean, there's plenty of people that, I'm kind of 40 grittish, when it comes to people sometimes. I won't talk to you. I mean, it's just the way it is, but there's a reason why I don't talk to you. And maybe instead of chasing people and saying, why aren't you talking to me? You should try to figure out why they're not talking to you. So, you just got to be careful with that's just a life lesson. That's just a thing. Be safe, Andy. Yes, sir. Be safe. Friend as a kid had a Mighty Mouse Beretta Timmons. Yeah, man. Yeah. Cool guitar. Yeah, those Berettas, man. I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch of 'em. I got an 84 in there. I did a video on the 84. Check out the 84 Beretta. Freaking awesome. Got that guitar for $400 at like 2 o'clock in the morning in Mesa, Arizona. Brian Peterson, thank you both, 40 and Jeremy. Thank you, EA, man. Yeah, my pleasure. I mean, like the older I get, I can honestly say it was my pleasure. I spent a military night. It's kind of a good that it kind of happened tonight because I don't know, it's nice to talk about military stuff sometimes. Robin Crosby, double roads, hands down. Double. Robin Crosby. I wonder what that's pertaining to. Let's see here. All of the do it at home Pro Tools overproducing, everything done separately, do a click, and dead on. Grid is lame. Kills the human element, swagger and groove. Yeah, did you hear that John Five said in an interview the other day that him and Roth went in and cut the tracks on something and they didn't play to a click, and then he went to leave, he was going on something, and Ross said, "Yeah, man, I'm going to add the horns and I'm going to add the drawing. I'm the everything they're going to add." And then he came back out and he goes, "Hey, man, we got a problem. We didn't play to a click." So John Five went back in and re-recorded everything with him, which I thought was kind of cool. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it, Ryan. Appreciate you being here, bro. Thanks for that tonight. It was cool to talk about the military stuff. Sometimes you get crapped out and then you start thinking about something. You're thinking like, hey, there are accomplishments there, man. You should be proud of yourself. Sometimes you think about stuff, the stuff you've been through, and you're like, is life really as bad as you think it is? Sometimes it's not. I always wanted a Kramer. I'm thinking of buying the 84 Radiant Red Beretta. I love single pickup in the bridge position. I have I've got a lot of Berettas. I've got one of those Kramer reissue red ones, like the Just Got Lucky video, identical to the Just Got Lucky video red Beretta, and I love it, and I never sell it, and it's just so cool to look at. So cool to look at. Of the story Luke told about Larry Carlton and someone saying how good his guitar sounded. It's just so it's just so awesome, man. It's just so great. I mean, like some of that stuff he was talking about. You talk about the he said it's like, what was the one about having a I'm not even sure if I should talk about it, but it was the funniest one that he said, and then everybody at the table starts cracking up, and then like he goes, "No, really, man," or he was banned from one of the colleges because he went there for a question and answer session, and they asked him about something, and I think it was about something about playing fast or something, and he said, it was like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you. Just go watch the Sunset Sound, because first of all, I don't want to ruin the joke, and I don't know if it's right for me to talk about. So that red is awesome. It is 40. Great, you mentioned Dream Guitar. Yeah, Kramer Beretta when I was a kid, for sure. Dream Guitar as I got older. I've had a lot of Dream Guitars when I got older. One of them was a Randy Rhoads Les Paul. I always wanted to have one. I got one, and I don't ever do anything with it. I should probably just sell it. I agree with 300%. You ever see the video where the guy lines up on Run with the Devil on the grid? Sounds horrible. Yeah, banned from Musician Institute. Okay, so that's what it was. Yeah. But hold on a second. Berkeley, was it Berkeley? Or was it Berkeley? He got banned from somewhere. Let's not start talking about it. But I mean, yeah, it's hilarious the way he tells the story. And he goes, "No, man, it's real, man. I mean, like, what are you gonna do with something that big?" It's just a hilarious conversation. So make sure you watch the Sunset Sound interview with Steve Lukather. Okay, no, it looks like he's banned from Musicians Institute. Darn the bad luck. All right. Hey guys, I went 2 hours. My gal worked today. I did not. I'd like to go spend some time with her. So I will see you guys on the next one. I really appreciate you coming in tonight, and I appreciate the conversation. I really had nothing tonight. The only thing I wrote down on my list was the May 4th Piercy and DeMartini shows. So I appreciate you guys providing me with 2 hours of content, answering questions or just talking about nonsense. So super appreciate all you guys. Um, had quite a few people in the chat tonight. I appreciate that. I think more than I've ever had. So um, I appreciate you guys being in here and being part of the chat. And if you guys have any questions, let's see, you can hit me up at 40gritguitars at gmail.com. I answer every email. I answer every comment that goes on my channel. And I just want to know, you guys know that you're appreciated. Somebody was actually starting a cooking, or somebody was talking about starting a cooking channel at my work the other day. And they're also doing like channels of cars and stuff. And I said, I really understand how starting a channel is. It's not easy to start a channel and to get subs and everything. So, I just, you guys really are appreciated, and I appreciate all your comments and everything you guys do, to keep it going. And I really super appreciate your content tonight, because I really didn't have much tonight. Louis Villarreal, thanks for being here. John Gregory says, have a great week, Mike. I appreciate that. My week starts tomorrow, so I appreciate that. Metal Cop, thanks. Hey, buddy, pleasure meeting you today. It was really nice meeting you. And I appreciate all you guys. So have a good week. Be safe. If you're in the Midwest, be safe with all this weather and stuff. And Lewis says, smash the like button. If you guys are in the Midwest, be safe, okay? Because I know there's some serious weather coming in. So be safe. And if you got to go to the garage, you guys have to go to the garage. You can do that. I'm sure that she would love that. So maybe we will do that one night. We'll do a show with Mrs. 40 Grit, and she can answer all your questions about how annoying I am. Gonna write to you. I need help in case I can't assemble my project. I will be standing by to assist. So, okay, great show. Hit the like button. Darren, thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate you. I'm going to get off. I appreciate you guys. I will see you on the next one. Let me know if you guys want to see anything in particular. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good night, guys. See ya.